Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, we'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. Is Bitcoin recaptured? 60 G's, baby. And quoting the high priest Bitcoin Max Kaiser, you can't taper a Ponzi scheme. Bitcoin 220,000 in play. Send it. We'll also be discussing Nayib Bukele goes Chavez mode against the high prices. Paraguay strengthens the power theft penalties for crypto mining. We'll also be discussing the latest with the German government, now holding less than 10,000 BTC as Iran proposes to link all the BRICS payment systems and more. We're also going to be discussing Bitcoin forming a bullish on-chain signal that led to a 200% Bitcoin price rally the last time, as well as Crypto Analyst says Bitcoin price will surge 500% to $330,000 per coin. I'll be breaking down his timeline. We'll also be discussing, obviously, big news, one of the biggest news stories we're ever covering of all time. Trump assassination attempt. Mind-boggling, right? He was lucky to still be alive. He moved his head at the nick of time to avoid the bullet going through his brain, nicked his ear. We're going to be discussing Trump saying he's still going to be attending the Bitcoin conference in 2024. We're going to be discussing the Bitcoin price not priced in for a Trump presidency win, which can potentially send the Bitcoin price to $1 million per coin. We'll be discussing everything related to the attempted assassination, attempt. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. If you're new to the YouTube channel, very important to smash those likes, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications. And go ahead and repost this over on X. It's greatly appreciated. Today is pod episode number 1700. That's right. I've been doing this show for 1,700 days. Pretty lit, right? Today is July 14, 2024. A lot's happening. A lot's to cover today. Bitcoin recaptures 60 G's, which we love to see. But without further ado, let's dive right into today's market watch. As you can see on Coin360, Bitcoin back above 60 G's, Ether 3,200, Solana up 4%. Some of the alts are clearly correcting as well. XRP, which has been a top gainer past couple of days, finally correcting today. Cardano correcting, AVAX and Polkadot all correcting. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we currently sitting on we have 52 billion. Worth of volume for the past 24 hours. The current crypto market cap is $2.2 trillion, and the Bitcoin market cap is almost 1.2 trillion, currently 1.18 trillion. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, it's VeChain, Mog, Pendle, and Jupe. Which alts, if any, family are you most bullish on for this bull? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubble so we can get a visual perspective. Let's start actually on the daily. Safe to say the majority of the market is pumping in the green, roughly 90%. And zooming out on the monthly, we flip that vice versa, and it's like 90% of the market bleeding and in the red as far as the alts are concerned. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, yesterday we tapped the bottom of 25 in extreme fear. Today we rose a little back to 33 in fear. Most typical is the lower this number goes, the more likely of a pump, and lo and behold, we hit extreme fear. Had a nice little pumpy pump over the past couple of days, really, this weekend. So there you have it, yo. Let me know where you feel the Bitcoin price action will likely take us for this month. Well, anyways, fam, let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts. We'll also look at some of the live charts as well for you guys. Do my astrology for the broskies, as we do each and every day. The headline here reads, Bitcoin traders eye the bear trap as Bitcoin price hits a 10-day high of 60,400. That's the current high, family. You can see here on the 1-hour chart, Bitcoin traded above 60,000 on July 14th as an assassination attempt against U.S. presidential candidate Trump sparked Bitcoin price volatility. TradingView tracked a crypto market surge as news of the attack, which Trump survived, came in. Again, the local highs are now 60,400. And amid the uncharacteristically strong performance for the weekend, traders look to the weekly close, the start of the legacy market trading, for proof that the rally had legs. Quoting Crypto Tony Montana, man, 60,500 reclaim would be awesome to see today for the bulls. Real sign of strength if we get it. So let's see if we could reclaim 60,500. We're only 500 away. Trader Rec Capital placed importance on the same area. Bitcoin fought to maintain the post-halving reaccumulation range, now under threat. Quoting him here, Bitcoin is less than 1.5% away from positioning itself for an important reclaim of 60,600. Bitcoin has 24 hours to do so to protect the accumulation range. Let me know if you feel we'll hit the target. And with the price now up 5% versus the July 12th close, a significant gap in the CME Group futures lay potentially waiting to be filled, which oftentimes does get filled. And for trader Dan Crypto Trades, there was a chance of a different outcome. A bear trap, quoting him here. Still a weekend move, but if there is ever a place to just run away with it and keep a lot of the market participants sidelined, I wouldn't or couldn't think of much better spot to do so. Anyways, liquidity volume's relatively low and yet to be seen how stocks open up tomorrow. So we'll see how Wall Street reacts when we get the open tomorrow. The latest live data from CoinGlass showed Ask Liquidity clustering at $60,660 with support thickening below the 60,000 mark. Now discussing the move to the 10-day highs, meanwhile allowed Bitcoin to attempt to reclaim the 200-day moving average, which sits at 59,200, which we're currently above, which is good. This formed one of the several bull market trend lines lost in the recent weeks, and around the same level as the 200-day trend line is the average purchase price for investors in the U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs. Per data from Check on Chain, Checkmate shared this stood at 58,240 on July 10th, so we're above that. And quoting the High Priest Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, off the back of this news, if this potential breakout in the global M2 money supply doesn't excite you, then we're not the same. If the breakout holds and a new upside trend develops, then I will officially transition from Dr. Bullcrab to Dr. Bull. And then Max responded, you can't taper a Ponzi scheme. Bitcoin, $220,000 in play. Hey, send it. And let's look at some of the live charts now. We're on TradingView. This is live and in the flesh. Let's look via Coinbase. That's the biggest exchange here, at least in the United States. And we'll look at some of the different time frames so we can get an idea what's happening in the market. And again, live and in the flesh right now. We'll start with the 1 month chart, which you're looking at here on your screen, and then we'll zoom in. Let me switch the scene up so you can see it even cleaner. Here we go. Bada boom, bada bing. So yeah, right on Coinbase right now at the time of the live, we're trading just shy of $60,000. We had two itty bitty red monthly candle closes preceding the green, red, and then we had 7 consecutive greens. Looking extremely bullish, in my opinion, here on the 1 month chart. We're going to zoom in to the weekly here. Here's the 1 week. And if there's any targets, I'll read those out loud for you. Here, there are a few targets. We do have a bullish flag formation in the 1 week chart. Also looking extremely bullish. One of the targets is 93,500. And we also have a massive target for a cup and handle sitting at $126,453. Send it. And let's freaking go. Zooming in a little more. So the 1 month chart and the 1 week both looking extremely bullish. Here's the 1 day. And you can see we had 1, 2, 3 consecutive green candles. So since, what is that, Thursday or Friday, we've been a pumping, which is good sign. We do have a downside target you need to be aware of, sitting at $47,700. Now let's zoom in to the 4 hour, and then we'll check out the 1 hour. And again, welcome everyone joining us. This is live and in the flesh right now. We're looking at the charts. We have a rising wedge formation clearly here on the 4 hour chart. We do have a target sitting at just above 61,100. And we do have a target sitting all the way down at 53,009, just shy of 54,000. We'll look at one more here on the 1 hour. And the two indicators you see below are the RSI and the MACD, just FYI. So yeah, even the 1 hour chart currently looking bullish. We only have 2 targets to the north, one at 62,155, and then you can see the blue target sitting at $63,500. So there you go. Let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the latest with President Nayib Bukele and what he is doing out here in El Salvador. That's right. President Bukele is now fighting against food speculators and price gouging practices in El Salvador, comparing himself to the late Venezuelan president, Mr. Chavez, after giving an ultimatum to food imposters and wholesalers last week, declaring they were abusing the people of El Salvador. Bukele has gone full offense by expanding the reach of the so-called farmers market in El Salvador. I think it's a beautiful move because now food is that much more affordable. You can currently buy 3 pupusas for $1, as Max Kaiser predicted, and you can get, like, I don't have it in front of me right now, but a crazy amount of tomatoes for $1. And ultimately, they're cutting out the middleman who is responsible for the price gouging. Farmers markets are points where Salvadorans can acquire a limited number of items at prices dictated by Bukele's government at lower prices. Bukele stated he would double the number of these markets and maintain them open all week long instead of only on the weekends. Sign me up. I wish there were farmer markets 7 days a week out here. He declared that due to the farmer markets, now producers and importers tell me they can lower the prices even more due to the increase in sales and the fact they can now also buy their supplies wholesale. And since the middleman is no longer extorting them and their profits have tripled, they want to support this new scheme with part of their windfall, he concluded. And he actually shared that on a post on X, which I did cover. Meanwhile, in other parts of the world, here in Latin America, Paraguayan Senate passes a law imposing up to 10 years of jail time on crypto miners for electricity theft. Whoa, that's right. Don't steal electricity, especially in Paraguay. They're strengthening its stance against illegal crypto mining and power theft linked to these activities. Their Senate just passed on Thursday a series of reforms directed to give authorities like the National Power Administration and national tribunals tools to impose harsh penalties on criminals mining crypto with stolen energy. Hey, at least they're not obviously, putting laws imposing against mining. It's just people stealing electricity. So all for that. You shouldn't be stealing electricity, to begin with. That's a criminal thing. Venezuelans sent over $460 million in remittances using crypto in 2023. And it's probably because of the inflation of their local currency. I think it's called the peso out there, but let's discuss it. Remittances have become a lifeline for the Venezuelans left in the country as migrants consistently sent money to the ones left behind. And according to data from the Interagency Coordination Platform for Refugees and Migrants in Venezuela, recently reviewed by Bloomberg, 7.7 million Venezuelans have migrated to other latitudes seeking better economic conditions. These migrants sent over $5.5 billion in remittances in 2023, using mostly unofficial intermediaries with bank accounts in the origin countries and Venezuela. These numbers make Venezuela one of the largest remittance receiving countries in South America. Chainalysis stated that 9%, which is 461 million, arrived in Venezuelan hands using crypto rails, and over 30% of the Venezuelan household receive some help via remittances, and this is only poised to increase. Crazy, eh? But there you go. Shout out Bukele doing what he's doing out there in Bitcoin country. I think it's a beautiful thing. So let's get it. Good to see you, brother. But anyways, let's continue. Next story of the day regarding the German government and what's popping over here. I heard rumors the other day that they had 0 Bitcoin left. Well, according to another source, they have 10,000 Bitcoin. Silver lining, if they still do have 10,000 Bitcoin, their supply is clearly shrinking and shrinking fast. And we also discussed, according to Samson Mao, they're going to be coming up with a strategic reserve strategy to reacquire 50,000 BTC, in which they dump. So let's discuss this regarding Germany, family. The spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Nasser Kanani, proposed to link the payment system of all the countries of the BRICS bloc, allowing for seamless settlements between these. Kanani stated that the conditions have been created for this to happen as payments between these countries are migrating national currencies. Very interesting, right? And this is regarding Iran proposed to link all BRICS payment systems, BRICS being the movement in which they're trying to get away from the dollar. It's ultimately a de-dollarization movement, which has continued to grow and grow and grow. But anyways, so yeah, overnight into the morning hours, Germany's Bitcoin wallet divested 3,185 BTC, valued at over 188 million. And that was according to Arcam Intelligence. Germany currently possesses 9,925 BTC. Yesterday, reported, that was Bitcoin.com, that the government sold the 9,700 Bitcoin in the 20 hours preceding the latest changes. Germany's counterparties have been familiar names. The German government's Bitcoin wallet transacted with Coinbase, Bitstamp, Kraken, and Cumberland, while on-chain fees were 6 Satoshis per virtual byte, which is 50 cents per transfer. The German government typically overpaid by 2 to 3x the current fee. And as of 9 a.m. on Thursday, the Bitcoin above the 59,000 range and the coins owned by Germany are now worth $587 million amidst fluctuations of Bitcoin's value and ongoing wallet divestitures. The German government's strategic adjustments reflect broader economic strategies or urgent fiscal needs, while the motives remain undisclosed. The acceleration transactions significantly overpaying the network fees hint at prioritized execution. So there you have it, yo. Do you think, as I shared in yesterday's pod, and if you missed it, be sure to check it out, regarding Samson Mow working with the German government with a strategy for nation-state adoption to reacquire the 50,000 BTC. Let me know your thoughts. But let's break down our next story of the day. Headline here reads, Bitcoin forms bullish on-chain signal that led to a 200% price rally the last time that this happened. And crypto analyst Ali Martinez pointed out the amount of losses being realized by Bitcoin traders has been increasing in the recent weeks. This on-chain revelation is based on CryptoQuant's profit loss margin metric, which aggregates the profits and losses from all Bitcoin transactions. That's right. The profit loss margin basically assesses the overall profitability of investors of a particular cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in this scenario. When the metric's value is positive, it implies that more Bitcoin is being sold at a profit. A negative profit loss margin, on the other hand, indicates that more Bitcoin is being sold at a loss. And according to the data from CryptoQuant, the profit loss margin is currently beneath the -12 mark, meaning traders are realizing more losses than gains in the market at the moment. Historically, this level is more significant considering that the metric has been below the 12 mark in the past cycles. Interestingly, the recent times in which the profit loss margin has fallen below a 12 has been followed by periods of significant bullish price action, as shown in this chart, highlighted by Ali Martinez. The last two times the metric fell below this level were marked by 104 and 193% price rallies. Let's freaking go. Someone run the math from 60 G's. What would 193% price rally take us next? Holla, and I'll read that out loud in a bit. If this historical pattern is anything to go by, there's a likelihood that the price of Bitcoin might experience notable bullish activity in the near future. Moreover, observation of significant losses in the market can suggest a bottom of a bearish cycle and the start of a more positive phase. Let me know if you agree with that sentiment. Ultimately meaning the other week when we tapped the bottom of 53.5, that bottom is in, and we're likely to continue marching north and recapturing price discovery from here. Now, if the historical pattern does hold true and the Bitcoin price goes on a rally, there's a couple of price zones to watch out for. According to Martinez, the premier crypto has major resistance levels around 61.3 and 64.6. This revelation is based on the cost basis of Bitcoin investors and the distribution of the Bitcoin supply across various price ranges. The size of the dots in the chart below reflects the strength of the resistance and support and the amount of Bitcoin purchased at each price zone. As he shares here, the key resistance, again, 61.340 and 64.620, with crucial support at 57.670. So there you have it, fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst that we can likely see a 1 to 200% price pump from here, as history has shown us. Holla. But anyways, let's discuss this $330,000 target, and then we'll discuss the latest with the Trump assassination and the prospects of Bitcoin hitting $1 million per coin off the back of a pro-Bitcoin presidency such as Trump. So here we go. Crypto analyst says Bitcoin price will surge 500%. Send it to 330,000 per coin. That's right. In the bull forecast, crypto analyst predicted Bitcoin will witness a massive 500% surge to $330,000. We're talking about Arsen Thag. Thag Apsov. A crypto analyst expressed bullish optimism for the Bitcoin future outlook, foreseeing the price of Bitcoin surging to $330,000 in the 2024 bull cycle, meaning this year. Send it. We still got plenty of time left. Sharing the price chart depicting the Bitcoin bull cycles and their respective record highs, he disclosed the Bitcoin has continually experienced significant price increases to new all-time highs after every 4-year cycle. These cycles also coincide with Bitcoin's halving event, which occurs every 4 years, and charts don't lie. Check it out. I mean, look at where we're at. Can you see a deja vu before the next bull? Holla. To prove this point, the analyst outlined Bitcoin's previous bull cycles. The first one occurred in 2012. Let me know if you were an OG and experienced it. Second one was 2016, and the third was in 2020. Let me know which cycle you came and entered the Bitcoin. And according to the Analyst in 2012, Bitcoin rose from a modest price of $12 to $1,000. That's right. So from 2012, Bitcoin was $12, and then it rose to $1,000 by 2013, marking an outstanding 9,000% increase in value. And following this cycle, Bitcoin witnessed another massive price surge from $650 to $19,000 in 2016 to 2017. And I remember that because I entered the Bitcoin in 2017 when Bitcoin was like $1,500. And by the end of the year, it was almost $20,000. And that was in 2017 around Christmas time. I remember like yesterday. How many of you were around back then? Let me know. Highlighting the substantial 3,000% spike. And I ain't talking about Spike Lee. In 2020, which marked one of the largest Bitcoin rallies ever recorded, despite the market volatility, Bitcoin jumped from 8,000 to the previous all-time high of 69,000. Don't get it twisted. Keep that in mind. We had a halving in 2020. Bitcoin was 8 Gs. And by the end of 2021, I believe it was November 10th, we hit 69,000, which was the all-time high for that cycle. And we're currently below the all-time high price from the previous cycle. So keep that in mind. A great buying opportunity. That reflected a massive 1,200% surge. And based on this reoccurring bullish trend, the analyst predicts the Bitcoin will experience a 450% price increase to $330,000 per bitty in the 2024 market cycle. Bring it. Between each 4-year cycle has counted approximately 800 days before the bull run. And based on this price chart, the market has already entered a bull run and is slowly gaining momentum to potentially hit the new all-time high. So there you have it, crypto fam. And in fact, let me actually share with you the tweet from the analyst because I find this insightful, so I'm sure you do as well. Here you go. And shout out to the analyst here, Arson. I appreciate you, brother. Satoshi Baggins. While you're being scared, smart money is doubling down. That's because the dip is nothing new. As you can see, Bitcoin goes into a new all-time high every 4 years. In 2012, Bitcoin went from $12 to $1,000, 9,000% increase. 2016, Bitcoin goes from $650 to $19,000, 3,000% increase. 2020, Bitcoin goes from 8 Gs to 69 Gs, 1,200% increase. 2024, we shall soon see. Notice how in every consecutive cycle, the Bitcoin returns get smaller by about 60%. That would imply a 450% price increase for this cycle, putting the bitty at $330,000 per coin. Let me know your thoughts on that, crypto fam. Now for our featured story of the day. Bitcoin price suddenly soars over 60,000 after the Trump assassination attempt, sending his odds of a victory to all-time highs. That's right. Here's the news of what's popping and how this can potentially send Bitcoin to $1 million per coin during a Trump presidency. Granted, he wins the election. Let's break this baby down. And FYI, as shared here, David Bailey wrote, I have just spoken with the president's team. He is in good spirits and is excited to see y'all in Nashville and deliver a speech that is heard around the world, which means Trump is still going to speak at the Bitcoin 2024 conference in Nashville. That's what's up. Let me know if any of you are going to be there. And if you're looking forward to that, holla. And also, as Stacy wrote, Max and I will be on stage just hours before President Trump. Trump it up. Will the U.S. under Trump 2.0 be El Salvador's first follower? Ultimately suggesting, will Trump and America adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender? Maybe pull the Bukele play. What are your thoughts on that? And massive shout out to Max Kaiser, Stacey Herbert, Nayib Bukele, and El Salvador. Also, check this out. This article came out 10 days before the attempt on Trump's life. Can't make this ish up. Here's the headline, and we covered this in the pod. Trump sparks talks of Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. July 3rd, literally 10 days before the assassination attempt. Now, Max Kaiser said, global hash wars. He's been predicting this for a very long time. In fact, Max Kaiser coined the phrase global hash wars, which means ultimately game theory in play with Bitcoin adoption around nations across the world, so they don't get left behind. So will America adopt Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset? Is that the play? I mean, considering Trump is speaking at the largest Bitcoin conference there's going to be over 20,000 people there. And also RFK Jr.'s pro-Bitcoin. He's going to be speaking there. Of course, Kathy Wood. You got a lot of big names are going to be there. So that's why I want to know if you're going to be there. Now, quoting Andrew Tate, personally, I'm a fan of Andrew. I've been following the Tate since before all the BS prosecution they've been dealing with. But anyways, here's what he wrote. You can't kill a man God wants alive. Earlier today, some loser tried to reverse the direction we are headed. But the matrix's continued fracturing is inevitable. The ignorant don't understand that Trump is dressed in holy armor. You can't kill that man. God allowed the bullet to graze his ear as an opportunity for Trump to show the fight in him. And Trump passed with flying colors. The matrix is a kraken in real time. The old days are over because the old days do not work. We are entering a new period. The chaos will accelerate as the matrix desperately flails to keep its grip. The matrix is afraid. Imagine shooting a man with your last bullet and he stands there unfazed. It has only just begun. Are you positioned for where we are headed? A very powerful post by Mr. Andrew Tate. Shout out Cobra Tate and Tristan Tate. Respect. And other here, you can see Bitcoin, clenched fists. We got the go ahead that he's going to still be speaking at Bitcoin Nashville. I thought this was a pretty lit photo. And what I want to do now in honor of Trump, I actually am going to just look over on X, and instead of reading you a article with some contents, I'm just going to show you what's trending right now and how the Bitcoin community feels regarding the Trump assassination. And I'm going to read you whatever's trending here right now and in the flesh. Trump at Bitcoin 2024. Going to be pretty lit, family. Let's freaking go. Check that out. Hilarious, right? Bada boom, bada bing. You can try to take me out. Not going to happen. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. Here's reported by the Bitcoin conference. We're happy to report Trump is committed to delivering his speech in person at Bitcoin 2024. We're proud to host him and to share the solidarity of the global Bitcoin community and our universal commitment to free speech and peaceful democracy. Amen to that. Yeah. Read you a few more things. Donald Trump will still attempt after yesterday's assassination attempt. He still will be attending, of course. Fidelity prediction. We've covered that many times on the show. Jurian Timmer predicting Bitcoin hitting $1 billion by 2038. Jameson Lopp wrote, they're going to put me on a list if I attend Bitcoin 2024. If you're deep enough down the rabbit hole to attend a Bitcoin conference, you're already on the list. Word up. What else is here? Bull run beginning to 200,000. Let me know if you agree with that. Max Kaiser wrote, you can't taper the Ponzi scheme. Bitcoin to 220,000 in play. Send it. Someone put, do you think Elon Musk should speak? Well, you know, Elon is in full support of Trump. He did make that very clear as well. You don't change Bitcoin. Bitcoin changes you. This was off the bat, and that's what Max wrote on behalf of this story. China likely to unban Bitcoin in Q4, according to their reports. Yes, I am not surprised. So yeah, I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin. Trump said that on the 25th of June. Ironic, eh? Keep the Three Stooges away from Bitcoin. Yes, please. And Mr. 100 continues to buy biddies as well. Has just bought another 900 Bitcoin in the past week. What a savage. Shout out Mr. 100, whoever it is. We'll soon find out the mystery. Let's get it. But yeah, so I want to discuss this Trump assassination just on my personal opinion from my research and what I've watched since yesterday evening. So there was the sniper in the crowd, and then I'll be reading the comments. Keep the comments flowing. I'll be reading everyone's comments best as I can. There was a sniper in the crowd, and he was spotted by people in the audience. And there was a guy they interviewed, the guy who had the red hair with the visor and his hair was sticking up. I'm sure you guys seen it. And he's like, for about 5 minutes, I can see the sniper crawling with a sniper rifle aiming towards Trump. He's like, for 3 to 5 minutes, he's like, I don't know the exact time, but I was pointing, trying to get the attention, screaming so that the Secret Service and the police can spot this young man, I think he was 20 years old, who was crawling, very suspect. He had a sniper rifle, and they failed to do anything. In fact, Luke covered it pretty well. I'm going to read to you what he wrote. I think I sent it to my mom earlier. It's just mind-boggling, Truly is mind-boggling. So I'm going to read to you what Luke wrote, talking about Luke Rudkowski. Here's what he wrote. So let me get this straight. Number one, the shooter at Trump's rally was spotted acting suspiciously near the event. Authorities announced over radio to keep an eye on him. And this info was passed on to Secret Service. That was reported by CNN. This is not being just made up. Number two, the shooter made it to the roof with a full rifle kit, and 2 witnesses saw him and say they were telling authorities and screaming about him for an estimate of 3 to 4 minutes, according to the BBC. I watched the interview from the BBC. He's not making that up either. This guy is literally screaming for minutes to do something, and they failed to do anything. I don't think it's incompetence. I'm more of a... is this an inside play? What's going on? Number 3, a standard spotter team tasked with covering such a critical direction waits an estimated 42 seconds after looking directly at the shooter, allowing him to take 5 shots at Trump. The Secret Service decides it's okay to keep Trump on stage for an extended period of time where he's able to face and actually address the crowd with an active shooter. And that's according to video footage from the event, which we all seen. And number 5, the Secret Service didn't think of securing the high point and advantage area over the event. And then you had that woman who was more concerned about her own life. I'm talking about a Secret Service lady that everyone's been making fun of here on X. And she was just crouched down, not protecting Trump at all. She was shook. So I don't know about y'all, but I'd want like my own security team. I feel like maybe there's, who's really controlling the Secret Service? Is my question. I think it's very sus. So clearly it could have been his life, could have been worse. So we're grateful for that. But at the same time, this should have never freaking happened. Shouldn't have happened. There's no excuse. We can say it was incompetence. Oh, they just weren't prepared. But it's their job to be motherfreaking prepared. So I don't believe in the incompetence. Maybe inside job. You just never know. I don't know who to point the finger at. I'm not going to point the finger at anyone. I think the truth will eventually reveal itself. But let me know your thoughts, and I'll be reading your comments out loud. But first, I do believe Bitcoin will hit $1 million. Very possible with Trump as president, because if he gets reelected, he's going to be serving as the POTUS for the next 4 years into the year 2028, which is the time of the next halving. And around the time of the halving, Bitcoin can very well be at $1 million per coin, in my humble opinion. Let me know your thoughts, family, and I'll read these comments out loud. Anonymous, I'm saying, though, it's mid-July. Just give me back to 70 G's already, please. The Secret Service was told to stand down by the higher-ups. Could have been, Don George. I may not be able to prove that with you here today, but something is not right, so I wouldn't be surprised.